Assalamualaikum, my name is Umar Ushdi bin Abdul Aziz and my metric number is DF20152. We choose impact of jet laboratory to study a fluid motion, so a finite section of the fluid and the gross effects of the flow such as force of torque on an object were calculated by computing the net mass rate that flows into and out from the control volume. So these forces were calculated by using a second Newton's law or the momentum equation as in solid mechanics.
Hello, my name is Mohammed Mirul, and I will explain about the learning outcomes that we learned from the impact of jet experiment. So once this experiment had been done, we were able to describe the reflection of the jet generates force on the vane. Next, we can identify the relationship between forces and rate of momentum flow in jet. And the last one is we are able to measure the force generated by a jet of water striking on the plate. So I think that's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Fakrul Amir bin Fahmi. My metric number is DF2000172. I'm from Group 5. Today I will present about the impact of a jet for the procedure. For the procedure, firstly, the top plate and the transparent cylinder were taken off and the diameter of the nozzle was measured. The flat plate is assembled to the lever that carries a jockey weight. Second is the top plate and cylinder were assembled to the apparatus. The supply pipe is connected from the hydraulic bench to the inlet pipe of the apparatus. Next is then the apparatus was leveled and the lever was set to a balanced position by placing the jockey weight at its zero position. The kernel nut is adjusted above the spring. Then, generated force by impact of the jet on the vane is measured by moving the jockey weight along the lever until the tally shows that it has been restored to its original balanced position. Next is the nominal weight is placed on the lever and the water is admitted through the bench supply valve. And next is the force on the vane displays the lever and restored to its balanced position by sliding the jockey weight along the lever. Then the opening is covered at the base of the hydraulic bench. And for the last is the volume of water and time is recorded and the flow rate is determined. The weight on the lever is recorded. After that, repeat the step using the 120-degree curve and the hemispherical cup.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Muhammad Ilan Haris bin Muhammad Amin, matrix number DF20140, and I'll be talking about the discussion. Now, for every plate, graphs of mass of jockey weight M versus Q square were recorded and plotted. The slope of the graphs were theoretically calculated, and the calculation from the theoretical values were also calculated. The values were then compared between the slope of the graph and the theory value, and it was found that the theoretical values were higher than the slope from the graph values, with the percentage difference from each plate ranging from 74% to 73% to 72%. From the result, the theoretical value could be obtained using formula. The highest theoretical and slope graphing value is the hemispherical cup, followed by the 120-degree curve plate, and finally the flat plate. Based on the findings, as stated previously, the slope of the graph in the experiment is lower than the theoretical value. The difference in percentage varies from 72% to 74%. This may happen due to errors and assumptions during the conduction of the experiment. It may happen during the setting of the pointer or the jockey weight, causing the shape of the plate to be slightly different, which causes the erosion of water during the plate, which causes water erosion when the plate has been used numerous times. Another error that could happen is due to limitations of the human eyes, which would impact the results found, observed and reported.
Hello, my name is Muhammad Miruddin bin Ahmad Awam and I am from Group 5. I will present you about the result of impact of jet. For the table 1 is a flat plate, the increase of the mass, the increase of the Q2. For the 120 curve plate, the increase of the mass, the increase of the Q2 and the cup and the increase of the jet's mass and the increase of the Q2, the flow. And we constant the volume of water for each S and the result of the graph. Next, this is the result of the graph. A flat plate graph. We had a increase of the mass and increase of the Q2. The graph will increase, and the 120 curve graph plate same is proportional. If the mass increase, the Q2 also increase. And the last, the hemisphere graph, the increase of the mass, the increase of the Q2. That's all from me. Thanks.
So Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So I will continue for conclusion. So as a result, estimate force and measure force are connected and both force are directly proportionate. Calculate and measure force should be equal. According to the theory, this could occur as a result of an error made during the experiment. In this experiment, we discover that hemispherical cup has the lowest flow rate but takes the longest time when compared to the flat plate and the 120-degree curve plate. As a result, the experiment was successful even though the data collected differed somewhat from the theoretical value.